A manhunt is underway for the suspected gunman in a deadly mass shooting at a bar and a bowling alley in Maine. At least 18 people have been killed and more than a dozen injured. Authorities say the suspect in the shooting is a 40-year-old Army reservist. At the request of his unit, Robert Card was taken for medical evaluation in July after behaving erratically. CBS News Jeff Pegues has more.
CBS News has learned that investigators are looking into whether Robert Card was targeting his current or former girlfriend in last night's mass shooting. Sources say he went to the bowling alley first and then the bar nearly 4 miles away. It's unclear if the person was at either location. Today, police also found a note at the gunman's house, though it's unclear what it says.
This is an all-hands-on-deck approach.
Law enforcement officials say Card is an Army reservist. The Army says he enlisted in the reserves in 2002 and is now a sergeant first class. He worked as a petroleum supply specialist and has had no combat deployments. In July of this year, Card was with his unit at West Point when leaders reported that he was acting erratically. New York State Police took him to an Army hospital for an evaluation. A Maine law enforcement bulletin said that Card was released about 2 weeks later. The alert also noted Card was hearing voices and had threatened to shoot up a military installation in southern Maine. Card's cousin, Michael Mercier.
He's got a lot of problems up in his head right now. One of them's schizophrenic.
Tom Chittum, a former associate deputy director of the ATF, says despite the mental evaluation, federal law would not prohibit Card from having such a weapon.
Simply being diagnosed with a mental health disorder is not disqualifying, and neither is a commitment when it is voluntary or a brief commitment for observation.
Last night, investigators found Card's vehicle at a boat launch. Sources say law enforcement is searching for a boat that he could have used to escape.
He has a military background and may have an advantage, but keep in mind, many of these law enforcement officers, they are hunters, they are fishermen, and they have military backgrounds as well.
CBS News Chief National Affairs and Justice Correspondent Jeff Pegues joins me now from Lewiston, Maine. Jeff, what are, in this kind of a manhunt, what are some of the complications in something like this?
Well, in this area, it's rural. Anybody who's been to Maine knows that. And you have a lot of ground to cover if you're law enforcement. And that's why you have several resources from other agencies coming into this area. But add on top of the terrain, the waterways, the rivers. And when you're talking about someone who was trained to survive as an Army reservist, obviously he's going to have some skills that may benefit him as long as he tries to stay on the run. And so there are several complications here. We've seen and we've heard law enforcement fanning out across this area. They've asked residents to try to shelter in place as much as possible. But yeah, this is a tricky manhunt, in part because of the waterways that are involved. I don't think I've ever covered a shooting like this on this scale, where you have not only someone who has tried to escape in a rural area, but also you have waterways involved, and that's why you have the Coast Guard on the lookout as well.
Jeff, we know there were reports about the suspect acting erratically earlier this year. What more do we know about that?
Yeah, the fact that we have this information so soon is perhaps a benefit to the investigation. But in his duties in the Army Reserve, he was at West Point this past summer in July. And according to some of the leaders there, he was acting erratically. Police were called, and it's really unclear what happened after that. But that's one of those telltale signs that investigators will look for in terms of, as they try to figure out what the motive for this incident was. We've gotten some reporting late today that investigators believe there was a recent breakup with a current or former girlfriend. We're still trying to figure that out. But our sources are telling us that that was a significant destabilizing event in the gunman's life, but still a specific motive is unclear at this time. But when you talk about some of the information that investigators have right now, they have something to work with as they try to figure out where he may have gone and why he may have carried out this shooting. Although for family members of the victims, they'll never have all the answers that they want.
Indeed. Jeff Pegues in Lewiston, Maine. Thank you.